standing at Riddle's Court on Edinburgh's Royal Mile. This is one of the historic buildings that was saved from destruction and regenerated for the future just over a century ago by Sir Patrick Geddes, the father of modern-day town planning. It was his visionary work and interdisciplinary approach that inspired us. He was the one who showed the need to put place, work and folk at the heart of planning and the way we see the places we live. We're working in 4 areas: West Lothian, Renfrewshire, Fife and Glasgow. We're bringing people together and showing the experiences of older people who've been active in their communities to inspire younger people to become active citizens, engaging with their cultural heritage and working towards sustainable communities. So we'll be capturing local stories, we'll be helping young people to gain the cross-curricular skills and confidence to create oral history interviews, and we'll also be hopefully improving understanding between generations, and it's going to mean that the participants gain a sense of how to influence planning, help shape the future of the places they live. In Fife, we made contact with Woodmill High School. There, S3 English teacher June Brown had been working with her class on a Fife mining project that began with the film The Happy Lands, which is set in the time of the general strike in the 1920s. We came in and asked pupils to draw maps of their community of Dunfermline as they saw it. What did they like? What did they not like? What would they change if they could? And through that process, we showed that's essentially what planning is about, and that they should have their voices heard in that process. With their teacher, the pupils devised oral history interview questions, and then we practiced interviewing each other using tablets and microphones. Then the next session was the real thing. Retired Fife mining professionals Stan, Joe, Ian and Duncan came in to share their colourful experiences and respond to questions from the pupils. The children worked in film crews to capture these interviews, and they handled it respectfully and professionally. They also created a really good rapport with their interviewees. Some of the pupils were recorded afterwards reflecting on the whole experience. From a secondary school teacher's viewpoint, the project is very cross-curricular, and it formed, in this case, an extension to National Fives, plus a major component of their work towards the new Scottish Studies Award. It's also a piece of valuable Fife heritage that's been captured. It's going to be shared widely, and we hope you enjoy it.
My name's Joe Miller, and I worked in 4 pits and 1 surface mine. And first job I started in 1950, and I worked right up to the pits closing in 78. And I was, over the period of years, I was a message lorry to start with. I went doing the Cowbridge workshops with pits. I went digging to coal and to get them sharpened with a blacksmith. We didn't have a blacksmith out of pit. So I was there, then I got another job, and I was cleaning oilskin jackets, and they were white oilskin jackets. You can imagine the domestic when they come out of the pit, they were black. They were white overalls and white trousers and jacket.
I went into the pits at age 17 in 1949, mainly because I was very good at mathematics in school, and surveying is applied mathematics really. And I was told that mining surveyors were considered to be the best surveyors in the world.
They had shafts, they were mines, they were where a cage went to. Where a cage held 24 men. Then you get to your check. Then you get them on, when you put 24, you shut the gates down, and through the gate, press the bell, and I'll let the winder man go. And then they go, and another side come up, and one way and down, just like a lift.
A big part of the job was making plans of the whole of the mine workings. And like you see in films, connecting through tunnels from one end to another. And you had to be very precise in your measuring and your levelling and etc. Because you had to meet both in line and in depth. And The biggest thing I did there at Kinneil under the River Forth was a distance of about 4 miles. You went down about 2 miles and then came back with a mile about 2 miles. And it had to connect to a new shaft in Bowness. And I'm proud to say that connected to within 3 inches in level and 6 inches in distance, which was very good. That was after years of surveying down the pit to do this.
My name's Ian Terrace. I was born in Glasgow. I worked in the mining industry for 20 years, both in Lanarkshire and in Fife, and finished up in 1974 in Seafield Colliery.
You said that you got paid like different at different places. Like, was it £4 you got paid at one job, and then was it £2.50 at another? Did you you feel like that there was a reason for that was paid difference, or was it all due to like the owner?
Everything changes. Different gold seams at different wage scales, different pits at different wage scales, and the scales are all set by management and unions. And you used to have what they called the contract, and the contracts used to be drawn up between the manager and the main leader, the man in charge of the section. We call him the leading man. And the coal face you got so much per ton that you dug out. You use either by yardage measurement or by tonnage on the hutch, or in the tunnels was by advancement of the tunnel.
You were talking earlier about mines being nationalised in 1947. Could you
Yes.
expand on that?
Well, prior to that, various private mining companies, you had Lochgwelly Iron and Coal Company, the Fife Coal Company, you had companies through in Stirling, Alloa, and the Labour government decided to nationalise them. So on the 1st of January 1947, a sign went up, this colliery is now operated on behalf of the people. It's not perhaps not the correct words, but thereafter it was a national industry, but that actually inherited an industry which had been deprived of any investment. Mechanisation was minimal, working conditions were abysmal.
Did any big accidents, like see the Chiliac mining accident that happened a few years ago, did anything as serious as that happen in any like in Fife or anywhere you worked? Like a massive accident?
Well, I was lucky because I was on my road to college on the day of release when the disaster happened in Seafield, and there were men killed by roof fall. When one guy was killed when the main car ran over the top of him. And that was the only time I was involved in an actual death.
So you said that you're you're lucky into the fact that you weren't like.
I was lucky because I never had any serious accidents. One accident in Rothis where I got my leg split wide open and it was off for 6 weeks, but there's no broken bones or anything.
Another big part of the job was I was on 24-hour call from the police. So no matter where you went, you had to leave word, I'm going to the pictures, I'm going to the skating, I'm going to the dancing, wherever it was. And the police would come and get you whenever there was a serious accident or a fatality. You were on constant call. The reason being that once the rescue had been made to get the body or the men out, the only other person allowed in on the scene was the mine surveyor myself. And you had to make a complete plan drawing of exactly what was there. This was to prevent management saying there was props here or there was machinery there when there wasn't. And I did umpteen of these things. At one time they called me the Undertaker. In Kinneil there was accidents serious and fatal about every 2 months you would have an accident. And I was there for about 20 odd years. So many accidents, which I could explain to you, but they're too gruesome and I won't do so.
Hire and fire was quite cruel at times because, to give an example, the manager across at Newton Grange Colliery, he had a table which was called the Green Table, covered in green baize. And one miner came in and he said to him, well, tell me your son's leaving school on Friday. He'll be starting the pit in Monday. No, he's not starting here, he's going to go to college. Oh no, Willie, he says, if your son doesn't start in the pit on Monday, he says, you're out your house. Your brother's out of his house, and all the rest of your family are out their house and out of the job. And that's the sort of power that these men held. And this was the thing that the NUM, the Miners' Union, fought, and luckily transformed the working conditions where it was a more democratic thing.
You said that the oil industry like took it over. Like now, the oil industry is more about the oil industry more than the coal industry. Is that like? Would you say that's a good thing? That it's changed away from coal into something else.
Well, as I said earlier on, it means that nobody has to go down underneath the ground any longer, which is a dangerous occupation. And I said, with any young boy nowadays at 15, 16, need to go and work in a coal mine, down 2,000, underground 2,000 feet below ground, not see the sunshine for hours. I think it was sad for the amount of people who lost work through it, but things compensated themselves. We've got other industries given, like you said, electronics and light engineering, you know, as I said, oil related industry.
Do you feel that Fife has lost its kind of identity because, like, they've lost being known as a coal mining industry?
Yes, very much so. Fife is quite a pleasant county now. In my time, the land was corrupted with pit bings. The rivers were all contaminated with mine waste. There were no fish in them. The rivers and the streams now are clean. You have fish coming in, you have salmon coming in. All the pit bings have disappeared. The notable improvement was what's called the meadows down in the Lahore district, where the bings of Glen Craig Colliery and the Mary Colliery were actually, in spite of the fact they were burning because of spontaneous combustion, were actually shifted by earth moving equipment and infilled to create what is now a very pleasant leisure facility at the meadows. And any visitor coming to Fife nowadays can't see any indication of the muck and the grime that existed there 25 years ago. And I have a friend from Wales, Aberfan, who comes up here and he's amazed that there's no pit bings to be seen. And it's quite a pleasant land. You've got sport, you've got holidays, you've got the East Coast, St Andrews golf, world famous. A lot of golf courses. There's Cowdenbeath waste ground was formed into a golf course with pit waste. So it was a first class thing. Because of the compactness of the mining industry, this huge family existed, which unfortunately does not exist now because industry now is in isolated pockets where you've got small electronics works, you've got various small industries, but there's not that huge industry which encompasses all these men, various trades, and it's something that's sadly missing.